I know you've been learning Claude Code, Claude Cowork, maybe watching videos, reading threads, trying things out. But let me ask you something. Is your week actually better? Like, are you more organized now than you were a month ago? Or are you still starting Monday morning with a mess of emails, tasks everywhere, and no idea what to focus on first? Yeah, I was there too. And what got me out of it wasn't a better prompt or a smarter workflow. It was building a team of agents. Each one handles a piece of my mess so I can actually focus on the work that matters. Today, I'll show you how I set mine up so you can build yours too. I'm Carolina. I work in finance. I run a business, I create courses, I make these videos, and for a long time I was doing all of that while drowning in the daily stuff. You know what I mean? The inbox that never ends, the follow-ups you forget, the tasks that pile up while you're trying to do the actual work. So I started building agents in Claude Code. They work also in Claude Cowork, and if you don't know how to build an agent, check my last video that I show you how to do the 5 things to onboard your own agent. Now, I never built one big agent that does everything, because that doesn't work, and I'll get back to this later. I built a team. Each one has its job. And I want to walk you through it because I think this can change how you work too. Okay, so the first thing I did, and I think this is the most important step, is I created a central agent. I call him my assistant. This is the agent I interact with the most, every single day, multiple times a day. And the first thing I gave him access was my email, my calendar, and my tasks. And that's because that's where the mess lives, right? That's where everything piles up. So this agent sees everything I have on my plate. And before you come asking me about security, there are some risks, but I made sure that all of the emails going to this mailbox were the ones without sensitive information. But access to your tools is only half of it. The other half is what most people skip, giving the agent the right context. In my case, I gave him a strategic context. What are my goals? What I'm working towards? What should I be prioritizing right now? I sat down and explained to this agent how I operate. I told him what I was building with my business, what my priorities are this quarter, how I like to work. Because if the agent doesn't know your strategy, he's just sorting emails and he's actually not helping you to move forward. And for me, this goes deep. I follow a methodology called Building a Second Brain from a book by Tiago Forte. I've been using this method for 7 years now, so my whole operating system runs on it. How I organize my folders, how I manage projects, how I decide what to work on, everything follows this system. So I explained all of this to my assistant step by step. So after I had this assistant up and running, I started creating agents for everything that consistently takes my time. Every area where I needed AI to help me regularly, I made a dedicated agent for it. And I want to explain why, because I know the first instinct is to just throw everything in one big agent, like I said before. It doesn't work. And the reason is context. Here's what happened with AI. Every time you ask him something, he looks at everything in his context window. All of the files, all of the instructions, all of the reference material you gave it. If you're working with an agent, that window is basically the folder. All of the context you loaded in there. If you put everything into one single agent, your emails, roles, your course materials, your client information, your financial data, everything, it's going to blow that context window. The agent is going to be looking through thousands and thousands of lines of content every time you ask him a simple question. He gets slow, he gets confused, and he misses things. But you also don't want to start from zero every time, right? You don't want to explain your whole business every time you open a new conversation. So that's why I adopted this approach. One central agent with my strategy and a surface level understanding of what all of the other agents do. And then each specialized agent gets only the context he needs for his job. Clean, focused, and fast. Let me walk you through each one quickly so you see how this works. First, my customer care agent. This one has access to my email so he can draft responses to customer-related issues. But he also has as context the features of each product I offer and the type of clients I have. So when a support question comes up, He already knows the product, he knows the client profile, he drafts a response that actually makes sense. I'm not explaining my product catalog every time someone sends a question. The agent already knows. But let me say something. I never give the agent the right to write my emails. They just draft it. I want to come back to it, review it, put my touch on it, and send. Then I have an instruction agent. This one is the one that helps me creating knowledge, lessons plans, new courses, workshops, keynotes, everything I need to build in terms of educational content. This agent helps me with it. And here's where the context matters. This agent has access to the structure I like to use for my courses, how I organize modules, how I set up exercise, but it also has access to my course platform, so he knows what I already built and what can be reused in new workshops. He has access also to my Notion application. That's where I keep my personal knowledge management system, my second brain, because that's where all of my knowledge lives. And that's the raw material for everything I teach. So when I sit down to create a new course, this agent already has all of my building blocks. I have also a sales agent that takes care of client communication and proposals. This one has as context the description of every course I offer, every type of workshop I can deliver, keynotes, corporate training, self-paced courses. He knows my prices. So when a client request comes in, he analyzes what type of client that is and figures out what to offer. If it's a company, he'll propose corporate training. If it's an event planner, he'll suggest a keynote or a workshop. If it's someone looking for personal development, he'll recommend one of my self-paced courses. I don't let AI send client communications. That's where the human in the loop comes in. The agent prepares everything, and then I come in, review, put together, do the final wording, and he assembles the proposal. But the heavy lifting, knowing the products, matching them to the client, getting the pricing right, that's already done. I don't have to go searching on several folders and trying to figure out the right format. I just refine and send. And then I have what I call my creative team. This one is actually a group of mini agents inside it. I have one for this YouTube channel to do the thumbnails, to come up with titles and all of that. Another one that creates presentations, and one that creates illustration for my courses. Each one is specialized in one task. And that's important because I can give each one access to the right tools. My illustration agent has access to Canva, and he knows my brand colors, my preferred design style, my visuals in general. My presentation agent works with PowerPoint. My YouTube agent has its own workflow for SEO, thumbnails, and all of that stuff. And again, the reason I don't make one big creative agent is context. I don't want the agent looking through thousands of lines of reference material every time I ask him to do one specific thing. So I think you get the idea with these agents. Each one has its job, its context, its tools. And by keeping them separate, they stay fast and focused. But here's where it gets really interesting, because these agents don't just work in isolation. They talk to each other. Okay, so now let me show you how this actually works. I haven't explained the mechanism, but it's that simple. Every agent has a folder called inbox. That's it. That's the whole system. When one agent needs to send something to another agent, it saves it in this folder, this inbox folder. And when I sit down to work with the agent, the first thing he does is to check what's in the inbox. Let me give you a real example. I'm working with my assistant. I'm going through all my email, and then he finds an invoice that needs to be paid. I say, can you send this to finance? And it's already on the project. He already knows that when I say send to finance, he's going to save that on the inbox. So he saves that in the finance inbox. Done. Now, I don't stop everything and go pay that bill right now. I'm going to block some time, and my assistant blocks it for me to go through my finances. And I go this every few days. I go through my finances. I open my finance agent. I go through everything, my cash, what needs to be paid, what's going to be received. So the first thing he does is check the inbox and bring that invoice in. So he makes a summary of all of the invoices I have to pay, and it's just a few clicks for me to do. I don't give access, again, for security reasons. I don't give access for my bank account, to my bank account. I don't give access to anything sensitive like this, but it helps me putting everything together. So when I need to act, I just have a few clicks to do. Here's another example. I'm going through my email with the assistant again, and then he flags a newsletter, something about a topic I had mentioned before that I wanted to dig deeper into it. He says, this might be a good idea for a YouTube video, or maybe he notices 3 or 4 questions from people in my newsletter about the same topic, and he brings up, a lot of people are asking about this. This might be worth exploring, maybe as a course. With that, I can send that as a note to my instruction agent. It sits on their inbox, and whenever I decide to work on planning the next courses, what's coming up, what topics to explore, he goes through the inbox and he brings up that idea with all of the context. Here's the newsletter. Here's the question people asked. Maybe we should explore this. How do you think this works? Then maybe this is probably a good topic for a course. Now, you have to notice, this is not magic. It's just me assigning tasks to myself on a different way, but with the help of AI. So AI will already summarize everything and already make intelligence behind it. The inbox is where things land until I'm ready to work on them. I don't need to remember everything. I don't need to keep a running list in my head. The assistant routes everything to the right place. And when I sit down to work on a specific area, everything is already there for me. Could this be fully automated by now? Maybe. But honestly, I prefer doing things with the help of AI rather than having AI do everything without my participation. The agent gathers the context, organizes the requirements, and when I show up, we work on it together. Now I should mention, Claude actually has a feature called Claude Teams that you can set up on the project and allows agents to communicate between themselves automatically. But as you can see here, it's still experimental. And because it's a little complex to set up, I decided just to keep my simple system of inbox folders. It works fine for what I need and it's easy to understand. And I'm always in the loop. Now, you don't need to copy my setup. Your job is different, so your system should be different. But the framework is the same. Step 1, create a central agent. Give it context and access to the tools that are the entrance door for your issues. If security is a concern, and it should be, you can create a mailbox to forward the things that you are okay with AI reading. The agent will orchestrate all other agents and keep you from drifting the scope from what matters. Then you create agents that specialize in the tasks that you need AI's help. Your agents will get better over time because you will teach them. You will add context. You will refine the rules. The system grows with you. If you found this useful, please like and subscribe. I post videos every week about using AI in finance and business. And drop a comment. What would your first agent be? I'm really curious. Would you handle your email, your reports, your calendar? Tell me. I read every comment. I'll see you in the next one.